Hey everyone, how are you doing? You have Mike and Sierra here, and today we're going to talk about the most commonly asked questions about blood parrots. What we done is we went in our Facebook group, we asked some questions, and we're going to give you some answers right now. Alright, so question number 1 is, what other fish can I keep with my blood parrots? Sierra?
So with blood parrots, there's no exact answer with this one. There's all kinds of different opinions. It's as far as with what we have seen with our blood parrots, ours are pretty aggressive. With these guys, sometimes you'll keep other aggressive Central and South Americans, something maybe like a Jack Dempsey, a Green Terror, or things of that nature, something that's not going to be overly aggressive, because they do have a harder time defending themselves. With other blood parrots, you notice that they're a little bit more docile. Some of these guys, you'll actually be able to get away with some faster moving community fish. So sometimes angelfish work out, sometimes danios, things like that. You want to make sure though, of course, that they're always bigger than the blood parrot so that they're not going to have any chances of being eaten.
Why are my blood parrots' colors changing?
Okay, so with this one here, there's a whole bunch of different reasons that they could actually, their colors could be changing. The first one, very straightforward, just that they're babies or they're not fully mature yet. So when they first start out, they're going to be like a darker black or grayish color. This will fade over time. They'll go to their orange. Sometimes they'll have stripes or bars during this process. And as they fade, you're going to notice that this black will slowly start to disappear, and sometimes you'll still see spots from this until, they are fully matured, and that has happened. Other times you'll see black spots on your fully matured fish if it's stressed. So in this case, you always want to first check your water parameters. If everything seems fine, it could be very likely maybe the fish is being bullied, or maybe it's even breeding time. There's all kinds of different reasons that these can happen. They generally do go away though. Another reason that you're going to see a difference in color, though sometimes will go pale or a little bit whiter. This also very similar to the black spots where it's an indication of stress.
How to tell if you have a male or a female blood parrot?
So to tell if your blood parrot's a male or female, the best way to do this would actually be to vent the fish. So this way here, you actually take the fish out of the water, you would look at it, and you can look this up, how to actually vent a fish. You'll see the difference between male and female. The other way is obviously when they do become mature. Sometimes if you have a female, you'll get lucky and you'll see eggs in the tank. That's the only other surefire way of knowing the sex of your blood parrot.
What can I feed my blood parrot, and do they have issues eating?
So blood parrots don't really have too many issues eating. That is a common misconception. Some of them will have smaller mouths or a smaller opening. If that's the case, they will eat smaller pellets, but generally they really don't have too many issues. Basically, you want to give them a mixed diet. You want to give them a variety of pellets, treats, all kinds of different things. You want to keep it varied. I like to stick with a good cichlid pellet or veggie pellet as their main staple diet.
What size of tank should I keep my blood parrots in, and how many fish should I keep in that tank?
So with this one, you're going to get all kinds of different opinions and different answers all across the internet. I find, at least for one, you'd want to start out with a 40. If you want to do 2, possibly a 55. Of course, depending, as they do get larger, you are going to want to upgrade them from there, because they are going to get 5 to 6 inches, sometimes even a little bit larger.
What type of tank setup will my blood parrots like?
So blood parrots really enjoy hiding, so you want to make sure they have lots of hiding spots. So caves, decorations, plants, things like that. They tend to rearrange their tanks, so it's always, I found it was easier for us to use plastic plants. If you are going to do a planted tank, you want to make sure that the plants are going to be hardy, because they do tend to uproot them. The other thing they really like is sand, so they're always digging, so I prefer a sand substrate with the blood parrots. They tend to really enjoy that.
My blood parrot is very shy. I just brought him home. What do I do?
So when you first get your blood parrots, it's actually really normal that they hide for the first few days, maybe even the first few weeks. Blood parrots can be very shy fish. It will take a little while for them to warm up to you, but they will eventually realize who feeds them, and they should warm up in no time.
Can my blood parrot produce fry?
So, blood parrots, the females are fertile and they will produce eggs every few weeks in your tank. The males are sterile, so you aren't going to get any fry from a blood parrot pair. I mean, some people will say that 99% of males are sterile, but I've never personally come across a case where one actually has produced fry. So it's pretty well safe to say that the chances of you actually getting fry from these pairs just aren't going to happen.
What can I do with my eggs in my tank?
So with the eggs, because they're not going to produce fry, you can either leave them in the tank. After a few days, nature will take its course, and the female or the male will just eat the eggs on their own. Your other option is to just siphon them out.
Can I breed my blood parrots with anything else?
So with blood parrots, because the females are fertile, they can be crossbred. You would need a fertile male of a different species. Usually you would use a South or Central American of a similar type. With this, though, we always like to promote responsible breeding. So always make sure you do a lot of research and you're really committed to, getting yourself into what your next project is or what you plan to do.
What's the difference between a jelly bean parrot, a short body convict?
So with the short body convicts, the jelly bean parrots, the King Kong parrots, that's a pretty complex subject, and that's one we can get into in another day. So we'll make another video on that one when we really look forward to that, getting into a little bit more detail on the different types of blood parrots.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it answered some of your questions that you guys had about blood parrots. If you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and you guys have yourself a great day.